Well, a happy Valentine's Day to all of you, and a reminder, as you may have seen in the official programme, that this match is sponsored by the Architect of Calm, thanks to Scott Curry, who I know was walking around the dripping pan during the week and also sent me a wonderful photograph with him and his daughter. Great to have you sponsoring this game. Amat drops to the bench. Emma Jones, involved in the late winner, comes into the side. So
I did note, I noticed actually that she completely and utterly destroyed that defender.
4-5-3. Lionesses is in goal as the players kneel in solidarity of Black Lives Matter and inclusion in football. Across the back, Ali Murphy, Harley Bennett, Hannah Short and Grace Neville. Atlanta Primus, Lily Agg, Hayley Nolan, Poppy Wilson and Kaylee Balfour, with Juliet Kempe up top. So we're underway. Lewes in their traditional home kit, red and black, and London City Lionesses are in the bluey turquoise. I think picked up their form since. This particular team used to be known as Millwall Lionesses, but they rebranded, went separate from Millwall, and they are a full-time team. As Lewes break down the right-hand side, and it's an early opportunity for Ashworth Clifford to get the ball in towards Umatong, who gets the shot away. No real power behind it, but a positive start from the home side. Primus to deliver, whips it in towards the near post. Saunders does well and parries it away. Leek, who's had a fair few touches, Cousins spreads it out to that left-hand side, and Emma Jones, Leek again, interchange as well with Jones, who's making the field as big as possible and puts it into a really dangerous area. You'd take that kind of delivery all day. Surely it's going to be forced in. Umatong scores! Her first goal for the club. Third time of asking for Lewes. It was an absolutely brilliant delivery by Jones down the left-hand side. The first opportunity fell to Lucy Ashworth Clifford. It was well saved. Second chance was to Zoe Cross, who had stormed into the area. Again, it was shut out by Lionesses, but there was Umatong, unmarked, found the roof of the net, and she's off the mark. And that's the first goal that London City Lionesses have conceded since December the 13th, when they lost 1-0 to Liverpool. Looking for an immediate response. Sophie O'Rourke has to be smart here, realised that that ball wasn't going to run out naturally, got her foot to it. Not the best clearance though. Deflected shot comes in, looping header, Kempe trying to get onto it. Little bit of panic in the area there, but Lewes dodged a bullet.
Yeah, just need to be a little bit calmer marking in the box.
Is the scorer, her first goal for the club. Lewes playing a 4-3-3, Sanders in goal, Quayle, Cleverley, Cousins, Jones, Leek, Umatong, Ashworth, Clifford, O'Rourke, Rouse and Cross. As London City Lionesses try to break down the right-hand side, Kempe's going to get there first. Saunders wasn't quick enough off her line. The shot blocked from Lily Agg. O'Rourke is there, another shot coming in at the near post, this time from Kaylee Balfour. And she can't find the target, but it does take a deflection and will be a corner to London City Lionesses. They're going to have to do their damage from deep, because Lewes are very compact and not giving too much space in the centre of the park at the moment. So if you would like a shout out, whether it's a Valentine's Day one or simply a hello, then try and tell us where in the world you're watching from, and do also make us feel warm, as London City Lionesses do break down the left-hand side and they equalise. I think it's Primus with the final touch there, just as I was turning away to do my Valentine's shout-outs. Out of nowhere, the visitors are level 1-1.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it was Sammy Quell lost the ball out on the far side, and they just broke very, very quickly. The initial shot was saved, and then fair play, they followed it in. So
Way Lewis, Lyle and Scott's shirt, and they'll be donating £10 for every goal that Lewes score, which is really kind of them.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? It's very, very generous.
Out exactly what's going on in the photo that I've been sent in this particular tweet. It's brilliant, by the way, and I'll come back to it in a moment. But it's another goal for London City Lionesses. This time it's come from the right-hand side, and it's an absolutely superb finish. It's Kaylee Balfour on the score sheet, drilled into the far corner. And Lewes have lost a 1-goal lead and are now behind. It's Lewes 1, London City Lionesses 2. Super finish, but disappointing for Lewes.
It was an excellent goal, to be fair. Great execution with the outside of her boot, giving the keeper no chance, you know.
Placed via the online club shop. Great to hear Hugo on the mic. Baz sends his love. Poppy Sinclair's watching the feed at home, as again London City break, and it's really dangerous at the moment. Agg forces it into Kempe, laid back to Balfour, hits it first time, rebound to Ag again. London City Lionesses want handball. Kempe was calling for it on the right hand side, and again hacked away by Lewes. Lionesses in the London City Lionesses goal, but Grace Neville comes away with it down the right hand side, goes long to Balfour, who's in too much space. Cousins needs to get across because O'Rourke is out of position. Fired into the near post, little dummy by Kempe. Primus with the shot, really well blocked, just a couple of yards out still, and danger is there, but Quayle is able to clear for Lewes. Former Washington Spirit player in the NWSL. Umatong now can turn 30 yards out.
Take her on.
Whipped into the back post. That's a decent ball. Jones in space. Oh, what a finish! Emma Jones! First goal of the season. And it's an absolutely belting finish, but the flag's gone up and she's offside.
Just goes to show, just keep getting the ball to the two wide players and let them deliver balls into the box.
Everybody back for the corner.
I tell you what though, I think we need to give some real credit to Ali Murphy there from the London City. What a great recovery run to go and make the challenge.
Here's Ashworth Clifford again, darting into the area. Decent ball in as well, nearly found Zoe Cross. And now here's Rouse, who tries the long-range effort, and that actually wasn't too far away. And although Lionesses was a little bit nonchalant, it dipped, and that can only have been about a yard wide. Going to half-time, remember, if you can donate, it would be very welcome. And London City Lioness fans, we have to charge you double now because you've scored 2 goals. I'm only kidding, of course. Maybe you're going to get a third here, though. The intended target was Kempe. Lewes have cleared that poorly. Balfour's shot is blocked. Primus in the area brought it down really well. Loops one over Saunders, who didn't look too confident there. And Cousins nearly put through her own net with Kempe at the back post. Want to do a Valentine's shout-out, Hugo?
To all the Lewes fans, be full of love today and have a great day.
Long range effort and a dangerous one as well, and that bounced awkwardly. The shot coming in from Zoe Cross, but Lionesses got across to her right hand side and watched it closely. Obviously saw an invisible run there and ends up just passing it straight to Cousins. Cross with a neat touch, but nobody had run ahead of her, and as a result Harley Bennett picks it up and spreads it out to Poppy Wilson. Primus now into the near post. Kempe there first. What a touch that was, and she's unlucky not to score.
Yeah, I know you just said it was a lovely little touch from Cross, but I'm not convinced there. I think you've got to be a little bit careful in these middle thirds. I think there's a little bit of a let off there for Lewes personally.
Kempe did everything right at the near post as well, just made sure she made contact first, the deft touch, but luckily it wasn't on target.
Absolutely right, but luckily it did, for the Lewes point of view, it hasn't gone in.
End to end at the moment though. Emma Jones, that's a really dangerous ball. The shot coming in, it's this time Cross, and the ball just perhaps didn't come down quick enough for her, and as a result she couldn't generate enough power. Tong at the back post. Ashworth Clifford is behind her too. Up towards Umatong. Oh, she did ever so well to get to that ball, but just couldn't direct it on goal. In the end, it was well wide. Ag, who's seen plenty of the ball as she's dispossessed, and then a snapshot there from Emma Jones, which was a clever idea, just not quite enough power on it. Tell us where you're watching from in the world. Are you keeping warm with a pet, husband or wife on Valentine's Day and so on? We'd love to engage with you at this fan-owned club as Mason is in space, the substitute. Leek has to be careful not to clip her behind. She's still going, and that would have been quite some goal, but in the end it's a couple of yards wide. Yeah,
it's one of them where she rode a couple of tackles and the ball set up for her and she rightly had a shot, That
I'm still here in the gantry and so's the dog, because we really are getting pounded by the wind. Here's Kempe inside the area. Cousins, handball, penalty kick.
Whoa, yes. It's one of them, isn't it? It's bobbled up and it looks as though it's hit the outside of her arm, I think. So I can see why it's been given.
Up steps Murphy. Over the bar! And Lewes dodged a bullet. And in truth, that was not a good penalty at all, with an opportunity to respond. Jones, who's seen plenty of the ball. That looks well weighted. and it's
Great
cross
ball,
field.
great ball.
Here's Ashworth Clifford.
Go on, deliver.
Iniumatong in the box at the near post, and she almost got there too, just fractionally too close to Lionesses. A Reading fullback, but the danger isn't over because here's Murphy looking for Ag on the edge of the area. Jones now should be able to clear for Lewes. Is there a counter-attack on? Asking a lot of Iniumatong, but she set off early and she's got the pace ahead of Murphy here. Iniumatong, good speed to get to the ball first. Not too many options in the box, but Jones is one of them and the ball was behind her. Really good technique to actually make clean contact in the first place, but just couldn't generate enough power. 15 minutes remain. Let's do a few more of your shout outs. Remember, if you can donate, even the price of a cup of coffee would be welcome. And thanks to Architecture of Calm once again for sponsoring this game, and great to see pictures as Rude might get in here ahead of Lionesses, and then Tim's Rude again. How's one of them not prodded it in? Iniumatong slides in first time. Superb defending there by Mason, and a free kick, a little harshly I think, will go London City Lionesses' way here. Sorry, Ali Murphy, I should say, is the player over the ball. Fakes a shot, dinks it in, and Jupy got there first, and even though she was falling, was able to make contact, but it's a comfortable enough save for Tatiana Saunders.
Nearly a very clever work free kick there.
Yeah, Jupy's a really clever player. Rude dispossesses Mason well. In towards the near post, it's dangerous, down goes Rouse. Penalty kick, Lewes! To be honest, it looked a bit harsh, but Rouse goes down, and you'll take that all day. And Katie Rude will probably be the one to take that. Up steps Iniumatong on Valentine's Day for her second goal of the game. Iniumatong scores! Gives the goalkeeper the eyes, sends her the wrong way and into the bottom right hand corner, and Lewes are level. Umatong has 2. It's Lewes 2, London City Lionesses 2.
Yeah, cool as a cucumber, wasn't she? And a very, very good and confident penalty, and well done.
Just saw, and I'm shame we can't see it on camera, the greatest celebration I've ever seen in return. This would be heart-wrenching for Lewes, heartbreaking even on Valentine's Day. With a minute remaining, Primus to deliver to the back post. Saunders flaps it and it's fired into the back of the net. And it is heartbreaking for Lewes. London City Lionesses have got a late winner, fired into the back of the net from the penalty spot. Oh, it's not deserved. 2-2 would have been a fine result for Lewes, but instead you have to give London City Lionesses credit. They found themselves a late winner. It is Lewes 2, London City Lionesses 3. There's still a minute of the game remaining, but there it is, a gut-wrenching goal.
Would you believe it? It was Ellie Mason.
Ellie Mason scoring.
Dying seconds, you're trying to get a goal, you shout for everything, don't you?
Jamat, Rouse,
You need to get the ball into the box. Get that ball into the box.
Leak on the edge of the area, cleverly tries her luck. It was a nice idea, but it was always spinning wide.
Cross-come shot, really, wasn't it? Whether they got time to get the ball up the other end or not, no, it doesn't look like it.
There's the full-time whistle. London City Lionesses win it right at the death in injury time. Substitute Ellie Mason, the difference between the two sides. Iniumatong had scored a brace for Lewes. She got the opening goal. London City Lionesses then fought back. Primus and Balfour both on the score sheet. Great finish by Balfour. 2-1 at half time. Iniumatong with a penalty. Prior to that, London City Lionesses missed a penalty of their own through Murphy, but in the end, when it looked like 2-2, probably a fair result was going to be the final score. Up stepped substitute Ellie Mason, having won an original corner and been heavily involved throughout the game. She then found herself just to the right of the penalty spot, and after Tatiana Saunders punched it out into her area, she showed good composure to firmly finish into the middle of the goal for a full-time score of Lewes 2, London City Lionesses 3.